a stadium full of people, 4 matches, and whatever the hell The Rock wants to do. These are predictions for the 2025 WWE Elimination Chamber. Welcome to Silo Voice Wrestling on YouTube and the Silo Voice Wrestling Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. From Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean. I am Jason C. McLean, and I am joined by a guest. Please welcome Mike Gwilliam, who is the Associate Entertainment Editor for Dexerto, and a wrestling fan from Ottawa who's going to be at the Elimination Chamber in the quote-unquote Rogers Center. I still call it the Sky Dome because I'm old, in Toronto. Welcome, Mike.
Hi, Jason. Thanks for having me. Yeah, looking forward to this event. It's a long time coming then for Toronto to get an event like this at the quote-unquote Sky Dome, again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've had 2 WrestleMania. Well, I know you're from Ottawa. Toronto's had 2 WrestleManias. Montreal's never had a WrestleMania, but I think that has something, as Sami Zayn pointed out in a press conference one time, that has something to do with the fact that our stadium really isn't all that great.
Very true.
The Olympics, yeah. I wouldn't want to subject WrestleMania to an Olympic stadium, but it would be great to have that in town. So you're going to be there. You're going to be there in person. You're also going to be on the review video. Sort of, I guess, our roving correspondent going to be there. Have a great time at the Elimination Chamber. But let's get right into the predictions. We have the WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton and Toronto legend, somebody who also probably still calls it the Sky Dome, Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. So I guess this is I think this is the fun feel good match. Do you want to start with this one? You want me to start?
I think this is I want to say maybe a glorified bathroom break for some fans, but getting Trish in there, it's going to be there's going to be a pop. There's going to be a massive pop. I think this is designed to get Tiffany over, as a baby face. I think this is very clearly going to be a W for her side on this one.
Yeah. I can't imagine it going any other way. I mean, I think this is I know this is definitely not going to be anywhere close to the main event, but this is the traditional send the fans home happy match. Because you're right. You're absolutely right about Tiffany getting over as a babyface. I don't think Charlotte Flair is going to interfere. I think this is also going to close off the Tiffany versus Nia and Candice feud. Nia's got to lose. Yeah, I think Nia is also the one taking the pin from Tiffany. It has me a little bit worried about the other match if this is the one that's going to send the fans home happy. So I think we're both predicting a win for Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus, and a major pop for Trish Stratus. And I mean, Tiffany, the fans have wanted to make her a babyface for a while, but they've just found it hard to do. But this is definitely the perfect way to do it. The next match might be the one that pleases a lot of people, but doesn't necessarily send people home happy, depending on what happens in an unsanctioned match. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Okay, I guess it's my turn. I'm going to start with this one. This is going to be violent. It's not going to take place in the ring. It's going to go outside of the ring. I was even speculating maybe they'll have a special guest ref. I was thinking they'd get Bret Hart for this, but no, that's not going to be the case. I hate to say it because they have the send people home happy match. I think Kevin Owens is actually going to win this one. I think Sami's going to look really strong. I think Kevin Owens is going to do something really nasty. And I think unless there's interference by other people like Randy Orton, I think this actually might set up a second match, a rematch at WrestleMania. What do you think?
Yeah, I think unless Orton does get involved, unless they do want to have like an Owens versus Orton match at Mania, I do think that this one will lead to a second match, definitely down the line. I think the history between the two, it's there's just so much to build off of. As for who wins, it's difficult to really say that because the storyline is that Sami is injured. That's why it's unsanctioned. I would love to see maybe at WrestleMania, we get El Generico maybe come in or something down the line. But
I didn't think of that. Sami gets taken out. El Generico. I think the WWE fans would love that. Like some of them might not get the reference, but I think enough people would realize it's him, and that's amazing. I did not think
Toronto's
of
a very smart crowd, like and Mania crowd, obviously. Well, they have been teasing it a little bit with the brain buster, at the WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I believe it was. So there are some signs that maybe we could get something like that. But I think this one is going to be a great match. It might be I fear it might be a little bit disappointing because you do have these storyline injury, and so maybe it might not be like as long as like maybe we would have liked it to be. Maybe they'll fight backstage a bit. Maybe they'll go and do another match and they'll go back to this one. We'll see. It's full surprises. Anything's really possible here.
Could you see it going like in the old hardcore matches, like the one where they pin somebody on the banks of the Mississippi River? Like they actually go outside of the Sky Dome entirely, and they're just sort of fighting in the streets. Like
Toronto streets are pretty dangerous, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, but when you got a camera crew around you, it's good. Also, yeah, I mentioned in the other video the setup for this. I love the use of the cell phone video setup for this. I think that's been absolutely perfect.
Yeah, lots of guerrilla kind of marketing for this one as well. I mean, it's great. It's a great rivalry. It's a great feud. So much history here. May as well just play it off at WrestleMania. Maybe wait to bring Orton back.
So you're predicting possible Owens victory, but El Generico comes back at Mania, and I think I'm gonna change my prediction to that one as well too. I was thinking. I mean, I really want Sam. I'm a huge Sammy guy, but I think this is one for Owens to win, especially if it's setting up for another match. Okay, so now something which definitely has WrestleMania implications. The Women's Elimination Chamber match. Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Bayley, and Roxanne Perez. What do you think of this one?
Okay, I have a crazy prediction for this one. Actually, this is not my boldest prediction yet because there's multiple layers to this. My dream booking here will be if you have Liv Morgan win, and then the next day or 2 days after on Raw, you have Rhea lose the title because of Dom interference. And that sets up actually Rhea versus Dom at Mania. Now, the reason I say that is because in the upcoming WWE video game 2K25, they're introducing intergender matches for like the first time in a while. And I kind of wonder, how would be a good way to market that new game mode? You have it maybe happen at Mania, because Rhea was actually somebody who was actually pushing for that mode to return. It's completely out of it's a baseball field for competing in, so out of a rough field, whatever. But that's one possibility I think they could do.
That also means Io versus Liv at Mania, which is going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah, that would be a great match too. So there's definitely a lot of possibilities here.
Yeah,
I do think Bianca versus Rhea would be great as well, but I think they're doing something with Io, so it kind of complicates things. It kind of changes how you want to look at the either going to be a triple threat or it's going to be Io versus somebody else.
Yeah, well, I think my prediction, it was solidified when Liv and Raquel won the tag titles. I was like, okay, I thought Liv had a chance, but I don't think. I think maybe we're going to do Damage Control versus Liv and Raquel. For the tag titles at Mania, or maybe something involving Judgment Day versus the Wyatt Six, which would basically exclude Alexa from winning. My prediction is Bianca Belair is going to take it. Maybe Jade Cargill is going to come back. Also, I think in this match is going to be particularly interesting because they're no longer tag champions. Naomi and Bianca can really go at each other in this match. I think maybe it's going to set up a feud between Jade and like Naomi if Jade comes in, and Bianca versus Rhea, which is an incredible match. Her against Io would be great too, but I think we're going Bianca versus Io. I'm staying a little bit more inside the box. And I think Alexa Bliss is like a dark horse chance. I don't think she's going to win, but I think that maybe somehow the Wyatts are going to interfere, set her up with that, or set her up in the feud against Judgment Day. So you're thinking Liv and then Rhea versus Dom Mania. Yeah,
that's my how I would do it personally. But I think Bianca is also like a very like safe bet. It's just, but
you're more inside the box with me. With that
one, down to how they do the Io stuff. It's like that other variable that you have to kind of factor in sort of into this pay-per-view for long-term implications.
Yeah, or I also have been hearing people talking about Wyatt 6 versus Judgment Day at Mania. What you
Yeah,
can do is there's
that's
two
been
women,
rumored for a while now. I'm pretty sure.
but now if you have two women in Judgment Day, and if Alexa Bliss, obviously she's going to join the Wyatts, I'm pretty sure you have two there too. So that's something that maybe we could be heading for as well too. Though, yeah, I think. Do you think? Okay, who do you think attacked Jade Cargill? Do you think it's Liv and Raquel, who pretty much it wasn't?
You could go with that. I mean, it's. Do you
Or do you
think?
think it's
Do you
Naomi?
think,
I think.
I think it. I think we're more likely to get interference in the men's match, which is why I don't think
Okay,
we're going
yeah,
to get
no, there's gonna
interference
be.
here. Which I don't want interference in both. You know, I think it'll be bad booking. So that's kind of
Okay,
why
so let's move
I'm
along.
leaning against
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Before we get into the men's match, we have The Rock demanding an answer from undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. So is Cody going to sell Rock his soul? I guess I'll go first. I don't think he is. I think that Rock is going to push him, and I think Cody is eventually going to look like he's going to do it, maybe turn heel. I think we might get a heel Cody at some point, but not at this point. And I think that means Rock is going to be looking for the person who is going to sell his soul to The Rock. What do you think?
Yeah, I do not think we're going to be getting heel Cody just yet. I think we're more likely to get a heel whoever wins the chamber potentially signing with Rock, but I can see this. You know, the segment is very kind of like thrown in. I've been hearing things about how this was very unexpected. You know, some people in the company were kind of like off put by this. Some people think it was just thrown together to help sell chamber tickets because there was definitely a big boost in ticket sales after this was announced.
They still sold a bunch of tickets already, but I mean, the thing is, it was configured for what 40,000, and they were almost there. And I think maybe did they up it to 70,000 when they announced The Rock, or
I think they sold. I want to say I think they pushed like 2K more or something. Meltzer did a report about it.
Yeah. I mean,
I
was more at WrestleTix, but yeah.
Oh yeah, yes.
Okay, so
that's what.
So you don't think? Okay, so we're not going to get to both. Neither of us think we're going to get a heel Cody, but what does that mean for the next match, which is the Men's Elimination Chamber match? John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Seth freaking Rollins. The winner gets Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Well, I'll let you go for it. What do you think of this one?
Okay, so I think we can rule out a few people first. I think we can obviously Logan Paul. I think we can rule out Damian Priest. We can probably rule out Drew as well. Seth, unfortunately, yes. And then so it basically comes down to, which I think the final two will be Punk and Cena. I think that is, it really is ultimately about those two. And that is the big question.
I'm in agreement with you on that. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you on that. But what do you think between those two?
Well, then it comes down to, I would say, probably, I think Punk versus Cody is the better match, because when you look at, okay, who's going to sell their soul, so to speak, I think it's more likely to be Punk. I don't think they're going to do heel Cena in this final run. It would be great. Don't get me wrong, right? There's a lot of things they could do with that. There's also a possibility of maybe you get a triple threat at Mania for the title. Maybe you get Punk and I think I kind of lean more towards Punk, truthfully, right now, and I do kind of see maybe you have like Roman Reigns make something comes back, and maybe he spears Seth, set that up for Mania as well.
Yeah,
I think maybe you get Drew eliminated by Priest, and then that he attacks him afterwards, and that sets up a Mania match that's been rumored to be a thing as well.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement with you on a lot of this. Actually, definitely Priest and I was thinking for a while maybe Drew would try to be the Rock's champion. No, Priest and Drew. Roman somehow screws over, eliminates Seth, or gets Seth eliminated, and then Logan Paul gets eliminated, and we're down to Cena and Punk, and I think it's going to be Punk too. In fact, I think Punk is going to beat Cody at Mania and then lose it to Cena at SummerSlam. Cena's going to get, and then I think Cena's going to long term is going to drop it back to Cody again, pass the torch at like Survivor Series. But regardless, what I think was important is there's one person who definitely isn't going to win, but I think is going to play a crucial role in this one, which is Logan Paul. Because it's either he's going to cause the elimination of someone that he's going to feud with at WrestleMania, and it's going to be either Punk or Cena. So I was watching, we saw Raw on Monday, and I was when I was seeing Logan and Cena and Punk doing that promo exchange, I'm like, that's actually a pretty good exchange. They're maybe testing it. I was thinking they could maybe do Punk and Logan Paul at Mania, which would mean Cody and Cena. But I think that Logan Paul somehow screwing over Cena, Cena would be a great opponent for Logan Paul at Mania. Do you agree with that?
So yeah, part of my job, I do cover a lot of like Logan Paul and influencers, so I'm very familiar with like this would be a big money match. Obviously, they're both going to promote it immensely. It's going to get a lot of people who don't typically tune in. Maybe you bring back Speed. Maybe you involve him somehow in the storyline. Speed is signed with Prime as well. There are lots of things that you can do to build that up. It would suck if we get a chamber finish, which is like not clean. Like we have like Logan hits with the Nux or something, and then we get the cover by Punk. I don't like that. I don't really like finishes like that. I think it's actually kind of what we saw last year. We had Logan get involved right afterwards, and that led to a Mania match for him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of history repeating itself a bit. That's also kind of a larger issue. A concern I have with the Chamber now was that it's basically just serves as a secondary Rumble to sort of build those Mania matches. It used to be you have No Way Out or Fastlane, I guess, and it was a bit more like organic, and now it's sort of just here's another sort of tool that can be used to build and sort of create a rivalry on the fly.
Yeah, that's it's. But I think that's good. I think it's good as giving it more importance, which is nice. Like you got to be putting it in a stadium. You got to do something with it, right? You got to make it have meaning.
Yeah, it has a lot. I think having the winner go on to Mania, it's a big deal, right? It's because it's also the main title, right? I mean, as with all due respect to the World Heavyweight Championship, it's not the main title. This is a big significant match. It's obviously a headlining thing.
This is the big
one. It does also make me wonder though, like what would you have? Because obviously winner of this would headline night 2 against Cody. So what would you make for night 1 then of Mania? Out of these people involved here, I don't think you have Jay versus Gunther as the main event of night 1 at all.
But honestly, they're building that really well. They're building that way better than I thought they would. They're doing that. You're right. I don't think it's going to be the main event, but but we get there. It could be. They're really building that match really well. Like I was surprised that it actually is something I want to see, but now it's something I want to see. Jay and Gunther. But just you're right. It's not destined to be that. I think maybe like a women's match night 1, but Rhea Bianca or something like that. But yeah, this is definitely the night 2 main event.
Definitely. So I'm with an agreement then that it's going to be Punk versus Cody at Mania.
Punk versus Cody.
Corporate Punk after.
Yeah, but I think it might not come down to Punk and Cena. I think Logan Paul might screw over Cena somehow, and then Drew someone. Say, for example, Drew pins Cena, and then we get a slight Punk-Drew rematch and Punk wins.
What do you say there's a possibility then that you have Roman come in and maybe that's a favor to Punk? Maybe Roman just, spears Seth or something. And then
it comes down to Seth and Punk, and Roman comes in, spears Seth as the favor. That's actually, I didn't even think that would be really good.
There's lots of ways to do this. That's why I'm actually really excited about this, is because there's a lot of it's very unpredictable. I think a lot of these outcomes there's so many different ways that they can do it. I'm not even as far as the percentage wise for these matches, I'm really like all over the place. It's actually quite fun. So I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm not going to be there in person. You are, but we're definitely going to review it together, hear what you thought of it. How do people, if people want to follow you, how do they do that?
Yeah, you can find me on X over at the Gwilliam. And you can find my work at dixtertoad.com.
Okay, and I think I could maybe put some lines on the screen about that. You can follow me at Jason C. McLean, Instagram, X. You can follow Silo Voice Wrestling at Silo Voice Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram. at Silo Wrestling on X, wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube, Silo Voice Wrestling. Well, thank you very much, Mike. We'll definitely talk in a few days. Looking forward to the Elimination Chamber. Do you agree with our takes? Let us know in the comments. For Mike Gwilliam and Silo Voice Wrestling in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean.